Check. 1, 2. this afternoon. At this point, I'm going to call the December 8th meeting of the Commissioners Task Force to order. The meeting is being live streamed on YouTube so the public can observe and listen. Welcome to everybody who's following online. Today's agenda has been provided. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Pardon me, the agenda? If not, a motion would be in order to approve.
So moved.
Jamie makes that motion, seconded by Bert. All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, that motion carries unanimously. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of October the 6th? Seeing none, a motion would be in order to approve.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Adam Thomas.
Okay, Adam, thank you. Is there a second? Bert seconds the motion. Any further discussion? I don't think you're supposed to discuss these motions. They're privileged. So all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, and that also carries unanimously. And at this time, what we've been waiting now for 2 months to hear your melodious voice, we turn this over to Doug.
Thank you, Chairman Porter. So this month we have 30 ESSER 3 changes to take a look at. 50,000 students represented in those 30 plans. If approved, they would be worth $75.5 million, and it would be a net change of about $11 million. So as we go through them, we've got Central Plains that uses up the rest of their allocation for an HVAC system. Riverside is just moving some money around, buying some hardware. DeSoto is spending money on salaries. That uses up the rest of their allocation. Burlington is using up the rest of theirs for some hardware. Then Girard has an HVAC project that still leaves them with about $100,000. Frontenac uses up the rest of their allocation for some mental health services. Pittsburgh is using some of their money to support the letters training that the state is providing. That'll leave them with about $300,000. Emporia's got an HVAC project and salaries in their additions this time. That'll leave them with about $400,000. Marmaton Valley, instructional resources, leaves them with about $40,000. Elk Valley uses the rest of theirs up for some more premium pay. Ottawa salaries leaves them with about $400,000. Lincoln, some more for salaries. They've got about $50,000 left. Then Nickerson, some hardware. That leaves them with $5,000. Bueller uses the rest of theirs up for both hardware and software. Wamego uses the rest of theirs up for some instructional materials. Belle Plaine uses or just moves some money around to buy some CTE equipment or supplies. Then Silver Lake uses the rest of theirs up for salaries. Ellis spends some money on software, leaves them with $130,000, I think. Douglas HVAC project leaves them with $99,000. Russell uses the rest of theirs for premium pay. Hiawatha's got an HVAC project. They still just a little under $40,000 left. Osage uses the rest of theirs for premium pay, some salaries, and HVAC project. Halstead, some money to support letters training, uses up the rest of their allocation. And Coffeyville has a pretty substantial HVAC project. Then Garden City got HVAC, pretty good size project, and then some salaries. Scott County is just moving some money around instructional materials. Gary County moving money around for hardware. Then Rural Vista uses the rest of their allocation for salaries. Columbus, some things came in under budget, and so they actually freed up about $8,000 this time. And Parsons uses the rest of their allocation up for some curriculum materials. And then, as I said at the beginning, this results in a net change of almost $11 million. So as we look at our cumulative totals, we're still looking in good shape. We're setting it about almost 79% are going towards those teaching and learning activities. If approved, this 10.9 million will cut us down to just 10.1 million out of the 768 million that has not been planned for. So I think things are looking pretty good. And that's all of them.
So, there's still about $10 million that people have not requested. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I noticed as we were looking at these this time, about half of it seems to me that about half of them had spent all their money and about half of them had some left. Remind us of the deadlines.
So all of these funds have to be encumbered by September 30th of 2024 and then liquidated by December of 2024. So they've still got about 9 months.
And
10.
And is everybody that, especially those that have some substantial amount of money left, are we sure that they are aware of that? Or are we putting pressure on them to get their act together? Pardon me, I didn't say that. And I'm old, so I can do that.
Our team has eyes on how much money is left and where it's at. So I think as we'll probably do like we did for ESSER 2 and probably set a deadline maybe in June or so that everything needs to be accounted for by then so that we know that everybody has a plan to spend that last $10 million.
Okay, and I assume that if it's not spent, it goes back to the federal government?
That's how it works, yep.
Okay, very good. Are there any further questions about any of these 30 school districts? It appears that everything was eligible.
Yep.
And we'd like to see that.
We try not to bring you anything that's not.
In that case, a motion would be in order to approve the recommendations of the group.
This is Bert, and I so move.
Bert, is there a second to that motion? Melissa seconds that motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let's talk about our next meeting. Is there anything else that, Doug, that you need to bring up before we move forward?
I don't think so.
Are there already applications coming in, or right now are we up to date?
I'm pretty sure we are up to date. We looked at some at the beginning of the week that I think were the only ones left, so we should be caught up. Nothing waiting for us, I don't think.
Well, then our next meeting of this group will tentatively be scheduled for whatever the Friday before the board meeting is in February. We will not meet in January. And unless something comes in that's time sensitive, and then we can make that decision at that time. If nothing comes in, we'll postpone that meeting, but that'll be, you'll keep me informed of that. And so, but right now, we will not plan on meeting again until that first Friday in February before the board meeting, provided you have applications for us to approve.
Okay.
Anything else? Commissioner, have I left out something?
No, I think you covered it all, Mr. Porter.
Very good. Thank you very much for your time. I know that you all look forward to this and are disappointed whenever we get through in 9 minutes, but we'll try to do better in the future. In that case, we are adjourned, and thank you for your service.